definitely filming.
Paradise. What greeting are we going to do?
Ladies and gentlemen. It's already filming, so we can basically start it tonight.
Bleep this. Right.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hello and welcome to this Yeastly Boys wine tasting experience.
It's the first wine tasting video we've made.
And we hope it's very educational to you
We
viewers
it's
out
up to
there.
scratch. So we've got 3 wines on display tonight. We went for 2 reds and 1 white. That's very loud. The reds are a claret, a Bojo, as I like to call it. Bojo.
Or a Beaujolais to those who aren't quite in the business.
And a de Grendel, which is from South Africa. It's very much what I'd say is the wild card.
It is. It's not what you'd expect to be quite up there with the claret and the Beaujolais, but we'll see how it goes.
We don't have much left of this. We've had a bit of a pre-tasting.
So what I think we'd obviously like to do first is just take a bit of the nose of the wine. I mean, the first note I guess is obviously not corked.
It's obviously not corked. If it were corked, it would smell of a sort of...
I mean, you'd be able to tell if it were corked.
You could tell from the screen.
Exactly.
Secondly, obviously, what you look for, the legs. So you swirl around with the glass, and what you can see is these really quite thick,
pronounced, I'd say.
thick legs. So what does that show then? The thick
It shows it's a full-bodied wine. It's got quite a lot of it's thicker than your average wine, which it can be a positive. It depends on what you're drinking.
And I'd say the alcoholic content is fairly high if you've got thick legs.
Yeah, no, it is. It's relatively high.
So a little educational point. Obviously, if the sommelier or the wine waiter comes around in a restaurant and offers you the little taster of the wine, only a fool would drink it.
Exactly. I mean, what they're really expecting you to do is just take a sniff, and from that smell, you should be able to tell whether it's corked. If it's corked, you'll know it'll smell awful. If you taste it, I mean, and you tell them you don't like the taste, there's not much they're going to do.
They've already opened the bottle.
Exactly. It's
They're
really
not putting
just
it
to
back.
tell if the wine is not right.
Yeah. And then finally, what you do, you then pour yourself a proper glass and you give it a taste.
Exactly.
How much of this do we really have left?
We've got enough for just a little bit more over here.
There's a little finger left in that. So wine goes far beyond just the rudimentary taste. It's a multifaceted domain.
It is that. And I would say, from the smell, it's got a relatively strong bouquet. Actually, you can smell the floral notes in it at least.
Compared to other wines, this is a feast for the nasal cavities. Move on to the taste.
And I think if you just let it linger in your mouth a while, you get the full array of the complexities of this wine.
So what happens is, first, obviously, you're punched with a fruitiness.
Yeah,
almost oaky in its nature.
It's got a very strong terroir, I'd say. It's a very fruity berry, maybe slightly ashy.
I'd say actually. Do you want to explain what terroir is to the average Joe?
To those who don't know what they're talking about, the terroir is the ground in which the grapes for the wine are grown, and you can pick the flavours of that earth up through drinking the wine. So if it's grown in a particularly volcanic area, maybe a very fertile area, you get slightly ashy notes, maybe earthy notes, really rich, strong, powerful notes at the back of the wine.
Yeah.
If it's grown somewhere that's got a lot of fruit being grown, it's I don't know, maybe very Mediterranean, you get fruity notes, so you can pick up berries and you can pick up that floral notes.
So obviously the kind of wine being grown in Norfolk would have quite a limited terroir. Like you wouldn't get a huge taste from the soil or from the rocks. Whereas if you're drinking a wine from, say, the South Americas,
this is a Bordeaux. So this has got very typical French notes. I think it does have that earthy texture, but it's also slightly fruity, but not too exotic in its nature.
It's very much a classic. It's like digging into some Dickens as opposed to a bit of Kazuo Ishiguro.
You feel very at home when you have this wine. It's very comforting. It's not too out there. It doesn't test you. It's very homely. That's what I'd say.
And then, of course, how could you drink this wine, this lovely claret, without talking about the aftertaste?
I mean, It has. I noticed this from the first sip I took. It's got a very long finish, doesn't it?
It does.
I mean,
but wines either they fart with nothing else, or
they follow through.
And this wine very much follows through with a strong.
I feel
finish.
like we should explain to the viewers out there. This is a very common analogy in the wine world. This following through.
Wine tasters often talk about the follow through. So obviously, if you're all fart no poo, then what happens is you're hit hard with a taste at the start, and then
there's nothing to remember. There's
exactly.
nothing to remember. There's nothing to show that it happened. You know, there's no mark.
It's like a holiday to Magaluf. Happens, it's good, but it's over.
But really, it has no cultural impact on you. Really,
this is very much a tour around Tuscany, maybe. It leaves its mark.
Yeah, No.
I'm talking.
No. I thought you were talking about the terroir.
No.
So
the terroir is not Italian.
It's a more complicated analogy than I originally thought.
Don't worry.
Yeah. But it does have it's a long wine in its finish, but
it is.
I mean, the one negative I think I have in this wine is I think it's very balanced. It has strong, fruity, floral notes that punch you when you first sip it, but it does have a slightly overly, I think, acidic finish to it. And you are left with that slightly acidic note.
Would you say it's almost astringent?
I mean, I wouldn't say that's quite far to go.
Astringency
it's not quite astringent.
It's very much a prerogative term.
Between astringency is where you're basically drinking paint stripper. This isn't paint stripper.
This is by no means paint stripper.
No, this is far from that. This is Farrow and Ball, if anything.
I couldn't put it better myself. I think it's time to move on to the Bojo. Obviously, it's practice routine.
What we didn't mention was the body. I think it does have, for a red, it does definitely have for a red a very, it's medium to full bodied. I think it's probably a semi-skimmed milk, maybe slightly full fat.
How could we forget the body? Yeah. The mouth feel is, it's not heavy or light.